Hello and welcome back to another really long recipe. I know that I've talked about my unnatural TikTok obsession on here before. Okay, this is not gonna work. I can't stand this, hold on. I like tried to put it under my thing, but it's like tickling my arm, in a weird way whoa! This is off to a weird beginning. I wonder how these potatoes are gonna turn out. I'm sure that I have mentioned on this channel before that I love TikTok, spend too much time on there, have had to delete the app off of my phone a few times because I love it. It's very fun, it's very addictive. I'm mostly on there for like cute little funny videos of like, oh my God, there was this one, I'll put it right here, it was a frog and he had a little beret on and he kicked it off and he walked away. Obviously, while I'm on there, my other after frogs and berets, my second favorite type of video is cooking videos because that's what I do and I love it. And I get a lot of inspiration from there. I've done a ton of other TikTok inspired videos before. And this one just felt pretty appropriate after my croissant video from last week where we spent 24 hours making croissants. Now we are going to spend 15 hours making potatoes, which I'm very excited about. These potatoes obviously look gorgeous. Like you can't put that much time into something and have it not be delicious. So I'm very excited for it. It's one of these recipes that really only has like 3 ingredients. You need potatoes, you need salt, and you need a fat. In a lot of the iterations of this recipe that I've seen, they use duck fat. However, I made this homemade schmaltz, which is chicken fat, for Passover when I made matzo ball soup. So I have this, I'm gonna use this, and I think it's gonna be delicious because this schmaltz was delicious. Oh, it smells really good. Oh, it smells like chicken skin. From my understanding, the creator of this recipe is Poppy Cooks. So shout out Poppy Cooks. Thank you so much for sharing this very viral TikTok recipe. I can't wait to make it. Let's dive right in. I already told you, but you're just gonna need potatoes, salt, and fat. The only thing I had a problem figuring out was kind of like the amount of stuff that was being used or like the temperature that things baked at or the time that they baked for. You know, a lot of recipe stuff. But see, that's what's tricky about like TikTok recipes is you're trying to get a 15-hour recipe into a 30-second video to be like palatable. So it can be hard to get everything you need in there. However, from all of the other videos that I have checked out, it seems like you need about 3 pounds of potatoes and you want a really starchy potato. So I'm using a russet and I am just rinsing these potatoes off because potatoes grow in the ground. Just a little teachable moment for you. And while we are going to peel the potatoes, I still don't want my peeler to have a bunch of dirt on it to get onto the clean potatoes. So just a quick rinse for these guys. So the next thing that I need to do is melt down my chicken fat. So it is solidified right now. Oh, this is gonna be harder to get than I thought. This took me about 2 hours to make last month when I was making my matzo ball soup. So I'm very proud of it. So I think we need about a 1/4 cup. Again, it wasn't wildly clear, so I'm just gonna do what I think should be right to cover about 6 potatoes. So it's like maybe like a hefty 1/4 cup, maybe 1/3 of a cup even. Do you like that spot? That was pretty good. Okay, so we have our melted chicken fat here. I'd say that's about a 1/4 cup, 1/3 of a cup. Now we're just gonna peel our potatoes and you just want a nice clean potato. It doesn't seem like it has to be pristine, but I am gonna try to get all of the skin off. And I like to keep just a bag. Like I usually keep my paper and plastic bags from grocery stores for this type of purpose, just so that I can have it here in the sink and I can have all my potato skins in one place and throw it out after. Now I'm taking out a fun little contraption I have called a mandolin. It's like this razor thing and it goes back here and it just slices things like razor thin. So I'm going to put it on 1/16 of an inch and we're gonna start slicing. That might be too thin, but we'll see. I have a nice big bowl with my extra potatoes off to the side where I'm going to put my shaved potatoes. So they are definitely thin. I wonder if this is too thin. Is that even an option? Now, for right now, I still have a whole bunch of room on this potato before I even get I even get close to my fingers. I'm not gonna put the hand guard on it yet, but these all usually come with a hand guard that is very important to hold on to, as you could tell. Is this too thin? I don't know, they're like see-through. What's the next size up look like? Okay, that seems like maybe more the vibe. I don't know. Vote in the comments which size I should do. Even though I'll already have done this and made them and eaten them, and let's go with this size. Okay, now I'm gonna use the hand guard because it's getting a little too close for comfort. I'm gonna be heating my oven to 250 degrees, which is definitely low, but we bake these at 250 degrees for 3 hours, and that's kind of what like breaks down all of the potato proteins and makes them so creamy just by being potatoes. They're kind of being confit, which is being cooked in fat. It's not kind of, that's exactly what it is. So, ugh. It's going great already. All of our potatoes are done. I definitely have too many. I was prepared. So the original recipe calls for a loaf pan with some parchment in there. And we're gonna put more parchment on top when we bake it. And I have another one ready just in case I end up with like way more potato than I think I should have, which I feel like is definitely the case. I melted even more of my schmaltz, so I have about, this might be 3/4 of a cup. And you want enough for it to coat every single potato slice. That's what we'll do. Okay, so we have our parchment. We are going to put it right on top of these potatoes so that they do not overcook, just like this. So these are going to go into our 250 degree oven for 3 hours. They're gonna confit, they're gonna cook. They're going to hopefully kind of cook down and squish down onto themselves because there were definitely some little pockets that did not get filled with potatoes. So I'm hoping that that happens. And I'm just giving these a little squish before I put them in. And in they go. I will see you in 3 hours. They're still piping hot. I just took them out. But here's what they look like at this point. I mean, they definitely smell like potatoes cooked in fat, which is never a bad thing. Now, our next and final step on day 1 is to weigh these down with stuff. It has to be heavy and it's gotta be on there. So I just have another identical size loaf pan that I'm gonna put on top of here to weigh it down. And I also have an identical sized cake tin for our 9-inch one. Now it's just a matter of A, do I have room in my fridge? Okay, I can eat these 4 olives. Here's what's up. Don't say anything about my 15 mayonnaises. This is a singular hard-boiled egg. Just a quick lesson on food safety, by the way. I'm not gonna put these in my fridge right away because that is botulism, which is when food develops bacteria because it was not properly stored. I see a lot of people putting piping hot leftover chicken or leftover pasta or whatever into the fridge. Don't do that. You have to let things come to room temperature. It's so scary. When it cools down too quickly, bacteria is a lot more likely to develop. And also, when you put something super hot in your fridge, it brings the temperature of your fridge down, possibly messing with all of the rest of the stuff in your fridge. Because instead of being at like 35, 36, 37 degrees, it's now gonna be at like 52, and you don't want your dairy hanging out at 52 degrees. Whoops, sorry everyone. Now we need to find heavy things. Obviously, like canned stuff will be good. Is there anything else? Oh, this is coming in very handy. Okay, I'm gonna eat these olives. Okay. So So we have our nice weighted down potatoes, and they are going to hang out here for a while. They're gonna come to room temperature, and then I will put them in the fridge for their overnight hangout. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Are they gonna be good? I also have a fun little plan for tomorrow that I think is gonna be very cute. Or it'll be a disaster. It says 12 hours, but realistically it's probably gonna be more like 20 because like I'm not getting up at 3 in the morning to make the potatoes. I'm so sorry. I just don't think that the extra couple hours of chilling are gonna do them any wrong. It's never done me any wrong. That's what I think chilling is. Can I tell you what I'm actually imagining if I'm being 100% honest? The first thing I thought of when I did this was the Disney Channel original music video with Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens, where they're like driving through Malibu and they like stop at a park and she's like being so cute on a swing. And in the car, she's like this outside of the window. And I always tried to do that when I was outside of the window. My hand was outside of the window and it never looked as cool as Vanessa Hudgens. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Florals for spring, groundbreaking. And I know that you know I put this on so that I could say that. How good is that movie? Anyway, let's eat some 15-hour potatoes. This was our like kind of tester pan because we had leftovers. I mean, they smell good. It smells like potatoes. And there's like a little browning around the side. So far, this is looking like all of the videos that I've seen. So I'm feeling hopeful. Am I gonna edit in a part where I say foreshadowing? It turns out like shit. Who knows? I'm gonna fry these up in my Our Place Always pan because it's shallow enough that I think we can do a deep fry without using too much oil because it's not even that I care about the oil. I'm obviously gonna eat these and they're deep fried, who cares? But it's just getting rid of the oil that is such a bitch. Now I'm gonna turn this on like medium high because we want it to get to about 350 degrees for us to fry these guys in. So let's cut them up and see how they're gonna look. Too excited. We're gonna use the other side, chill out. For some reason, Poppy Cooks measures these out. I'm sure it's just for even cooking and for like uniformity of look. I think we all know that that's not necessarily my #1 concern, but we'll do it. Boom, 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 boom. So I would ideally like to have no gaps and have it just be straight, like fully filled in all the way through. So I'm curious if I'll be able to have that, if I did this properly. I'm gonna cut off these sides. Oh, it cuts so nicely, wow. Okay. I'm not loving how quickly that fell apart. And it's making me concerned I didn't use enough fat. But like, here's what we're talking about. This is what I didn't want, so that's great. But okay. We're at 7.5 inches across. And how many wide? 4 inches wide. Let's make this just perfectly straight. How about that? Oh, I am starting to not like how this is going. My little pieces are already coming apart, and I'm wondering if that's just because that's like the outside pieces, or if because I f***ed it up. Well, only one way to find out. So what's 7.5? Maybe like 1.5 inches each? No, let's just make them 1 inch across. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, please stay together. So there are gaps. They're just not quite as bad as I was thinking based off of the edges, but our oil is pretty much ready. So let's get some salt and a little prep station going. I'm just gonna do 2 at a time. We definitely do not want to overcrowd the pan for this kind of a thing. I'm just giving these a slight touch to make sure that they are not sticking, but they are starting to get golden brown. I'm just gonna flip it over because this top side is not fully submerged. So I just wanna be making sure everything's even. Some of these are lifting off, which I don't know if that's okay or not, but oh well. I really don't know how these are gonna be. It is a pot of boiling hot oil, so let's just be careful. We're not gonna have any water around here. We're just gonna be extra safe. Getting these little extra pieces off just so they don't burn. Okay, I'm going to take these out. They are like perfectly brown. Whoops, okay. They look good. We're gonna hit them with some salt right now, just so that it is nice and sticky to the potato. Okay, let's put the other ones in while we let these chill out for 1 second. I just don't want to bite into those yet because they're going to be piping hot. So I'm gonna try to be smart for this moment. I'm going to demold this one. Let's just plop, just don't care at all. Okay, so for this, I just thought it'd be cute to do a couple of shapes. So I got my little star cookie cutter. I think it might work. Now, every once in a while, somebody asks, Irene, how dare you? And then I don't know what to tell them. Okay, are we ready for the 15-hour potato? Who said I wasn't a fine dining ass bitch? Look at this, look at my little Stonehenge ass potatoes. Okay, here's what they look like. Let me flip my little starsies. Oh my goodness gracious. Get out of town. Get out of town. Move out, get a new lease, and leave. Okay, you guys, we all know I love to toot my own horn, but I think that those are a little hot. I'll show you those in a second. It's cooled down. I made like a little sauce. That's fine. Okay. I'm just like underwhelmed. There's a very strong chance I did it wrong. I do think my potatoes ended up being too thick, but it's very good. It's obviously schmaltz and potatoes and salt and oil. So like 10 out of 10 on that front. And I think that obviously it's like very structurally beautiful, but like I'd probably rather have a fry, unless of course we're talking about these, because this on the other hand is very cute. Let's give these a try, huh? Okay, these are better and here's why. There's more of a surface area of the crunch. See all of those layers? Like that's the very fun part of this potato. I think that these are super fun for like a fine dining or like kind of like showstopper kind of moment. Like if you were having a dinner party, this would be such a fun thing to make. But I personally don't think I'd be making these again. Truly only because like I think a French fry is better and you can do more with it. Here's the thing, I feel like I'm making these not sound good. I would give the potatoes an 8 out of 10, for sure. Very good, 8.5. But I just think that like the croissants that we made last week, those being 24 hours was like worth it. These I'm like, potatoes. Nobody's mad at a potato. But either way, I had so much fun doing another 2-day recipe with you. Please let me know down below any like super extreme food experiments you want me to try next, because I've been having the best time doing them. I hope you guys have a great day and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Also leave in the comments how cute my star ones were.